Welcome into NFL Power Rankings presented by the long-lasting power of Energizer. Still going. Happy to have him with us all season long on NFL.com. And you can catch us every single Wednesday live at noon Eastern on the web. Joined today by the new writer of the Power Rankings, 9-year NFL.com veteran, getting loose, Dan Hanzus.
I like it.
What? Huh?
I like it.
Yeah,
That's a winner.
do. Also, we've got UCLA Hall of Famer and former Jaguars great Maurice Jones-Drew, along with our analytics expert, Cynthia Frelund. It's great to be back, everybody.
This is exciting.
What do you say we start at the top with our number one team?
Defending champions. New England, you ready?
Defending champs, they left the stamp. This season aiming at 7 rings for the camp. Gronk left, gotta refocus, time to revamp. But New England's never out of the conversation for chance. Brady is Brady, welcoming all the smoke. Belichick is the coach, no smiley faces or jokes. Another ring for the 100th season, who knows? If it's up to Tom Brady, I wouldn't count out the GOAT, no. New England's only mission is to repeat. Said it once, let's say it again like a retweet. Temps rising for the season, gotta bring heat. Squad goes, welcome to the elite. Pass nation.
How about James Devlin with the rap there? That was impressive. Dan, are the Pats number one because they are defending champs, or do you believe that they are the best team right here, right now?
Well, I'm the new guy, and sometimes, like in prison.
What are you, new?
I'm new. I'm new to the power rankings. In prison, you beat up the guy the first day to make a name for yourself. That would be me if I put the Patriots like 7 or 8 or something like that. But I'm not going to do that because, in general, when you put out a power rankings before Week 1, the defending Super Bowl champion's got to be Week 1. That's rule number 1 of power rankings for me. I think they're still a very strong team, and you don't doubt anybody behind the scenes, and you don't doubt number 12.
All right, how about it, Maurice, Cynthia?
You know, I feel like the Patriots lost a lot. You lose Gronk, and not only in the passing game, but the running game, where they kind of excelled in the playoffs. So for me, if there's going to be a team that's going to be number 1, it has to be the Rams. They've gotten better throughout the draft. They got better throughout free agency. They already won the NFC Championship. Don't hate me. Don't hate me because you ain't me.
So quick.
But at the end of the day, listen, I guess there's all this concern about Todd Gurley. They addressed that throughout the preseason, running Darrell Henderson. You see there, Malcolm Brown's another guy. They've added more weapons on the defensive side to get after it. I think the Rams are built to go back and this time, do a little bit more damage than they did last year.
So I actually am with you about the Patriots, but if it was going to be someone else, for me, it's the Chiefs. How are you going to doubt Patrick Mahomes reigning MVP? That does actually matter. And an improved defense, like a significantly improved defense, especially at the safety position. They got Tyrann Mathieu, who told me he likes to be called Baby T, so we're going to call him that from now on, and Juan Thornhill in the draft. So they've really improved a position of huge need. Why is it not the Chiefs?
Well, everyone, by the way, knows that the Chiefs win the coin toss last January in the AFC title game. They are the Super Bowl champion, and they're number 1 on the power rankings.
They're not the Super Bowl champion.
Let's be real here.
Let's be honest. They just lost to the Rams. Let's not do that.
Wait a minute. Did the Chargers?
If I may insert, a lot of times when it comes to power rankings, what's the easiest way to get into the playoffs? Win your division, right? So if you balance this all out and you think about the Chiefs division in the AFC West with the Chargers as a legitimate contender, you look at the NFC West and you have an upstart and a tough defense in the 49ers. Don't know what that offense is going to look like, but a Seattle team that's very good. I mean, what are the Patriots dealing with in the AFC East in terms of having that path to get back into the playoffs?
You could squint and look at the AFC East as a race in December. I know it sounds crazy. The Dolphins, we know where the Dolphins are right now, so you take them out of the mix. But the Jets and Bills, I think, can be frisky this year, could be hanging around, could win 9 or 10 games, and then all of a sudden that path doesn't look so clear. I've been saying that for years.
That's a lot of coulds in there for the Bills and the Jets. All right, here's a look at the top 8 of our Dan Hanzus power rankings available at NFL.com. Well, there are your Rams at number 2, MJD, the Chiefs at 4. But what do you got there? You got the Eagles there at number 5. Why did you put them there?
I just think this is a really strong, complete team that gets Carson Wentz back full strength, hopefully. Last year was kind of a bummer for Wentz, who obviously misses the Super Bowl, that great playoff run, gets back and is never healthy. I think we get back to seeing MVP-level Carson Wentz, and he had Deshaun Jackson, who's going to blow the top off the defense. It's just a really balanced team and has good coaching. I don't see what the flaw is here.
The one flaw I might see here is their secondary. I'm a little concerned about that, even though I really like their defensive front.
Yeah, and remember, probably the best offensive line in the business. They got 4 freaking
Number
tackles.
one.
Most
Number
teams
one.
don't have 1. All right, let's turn our attention to Texas.
Zeke Elliott, in 2018, a busy man, led the league in touches. He had 381 of them. But in 2019, what does he want to touch? A new contract. And until he and his representation and the boys come to a new deal, he's a no-show.
We've got a marathon, and we want Zeke when we get to the playoffs. We want Zeke when we're in the dog days of this season.
The Cowboys have not eclipsed the offer for Todd Gurley. Zeke came into these negotiations with his agent really wanting to blow that Gurley number away. That is the issue with Zeke right now.
Zeke who?
All right, so let's play worst case scenario. Zeke who? No Zeke. Where does that put the Cowboys when it comes to the playoffs? We have the Eagles at 5, and it seems like everybody agrees they're winning that division. So can the Cowboys grab a wild card if he's not there?
Over an entire season? I would be very surprised. And I love what they have at their offensive line. And look out for Travis Frederick, their center, who could be the comeback player of the year this season. But you take out Zeke, he's the best player of the team. What team survives that and makes a deep playoff run?
Yeah, for me, you need both Zeke and Dak. Both of those guys help each other. When you have just Zeke, it's not as good. When you have just Dak, obviously we've seen that before when Zeke was suspended. So you need both those guys. But this offense and this team, the way the defense plays, is all predicated off of the running game. When they played the Rams, and I always go back to the Rams, when they played them in the postseason, Zeke didn't rush for 100 yards. He didn't do his thing. They lost. That's what happens. So you need to make sure you have Zeke in there with that offensive line and get things going. I know Tony Pollard did a great job in the preseason, but it's not. That's preseason.
I'm with you over the course of the season that they can't win without him, but look at those first 3 games. You have the Giants, you have the Redskins, and then you have Miami before they ultimately face the Saints. So for me, if he's going to miss any time, this is the best time of year to miss it. These first 3 games, they don't need him as much. But in order to make a deep playoff run or even a playoff run, they would need Zeke there. You're totally right. The run game is how they base their entire offense. So for me, maybe these first 3 games, but the season.
So I started by saying worst case scenario. So let's just say it is worst case. And even though we think it's all good and he's in Dallas and they're negotiating, it doesn't work out. What if he sits out the entire season? What if he pulls a Lev Bell? Then is this team now completely out of the playoffs?
I think they're probably, I feel like they're done. I have them at 7 in the power rankings right now just because, like everyone else, you're assuming a deal gets done here. But imagine a scenario where they don't have Zeke. Week 1, they stumble against the Giants. They're going to stumble in the power rankings, which I know is probably really upsetting them. Just the thought of that, I imagine. But in general, I think they're done. I think they're done if they don't have Zeke for 13 games.
I like it.
Are they well done? Or are they just like...
They're crispy.
Nobody likes well
it's
done.
over.
Yeah.
Are running backs
Reggie
valuable?
Wayne steak.
Do you need a running back?
I
in this
try to
league
tell
win?
people, it's so funny. We always talk about running backs and how they're devalued, but every quarterback needs a running back to help them grow. Every quarterback needs this or that. Running backs, if you can get Zeke Elliott in there, the Cowboys, he not only helps your offense, obviously, with the running game, but he helps your defense stay off the field and stay fresh. And that's what you want.
Yeah.
Helps he helps everything.
Yeah.
Get it in. Get it done.
So I mentioned Lev Bell and whether or not he could pull a Lev Bell and miss an entire season. That was 2 years ago, 2 off seasons ago drama. This drama for the Steelers this past off season was Antonio Brown and the trading of Antonio Brown. So what lies ahead for the Steelers?
One of the offseason's biggest questions has been answered. AB trading in the yellow and black for the black and silver.
Antonio Brown pulls it in. This is unbelievable. Wow.
It's legendary.
While we were sleeping, Le'Veon Bell agreed to a deal with the New York Jets.
Le'Veon Bell with a half step on the defender.
New York Jets Nation, we here, baby. You already know what it is. Jets.
We as an organization have moved on. I think they, as professionals, have moved on. We're excited about the formulation of our team for 19.
All right, Cynthia, why don't you get us started on this one? Are the Steelers a top 10 team?
Yeah. That's
Okay.
simple as that. Look,
I guess
they
I
still have
phrased the
their
question,
O-line.
and I deserve that answer. Yeah.
They still have one of the best O-lines in all of football, which is a huge deal. They still have Ben Roethlisberger, and last I checked, their defense got better this offseason. They have a great pass rushing thing going on last season. Then they added Devin Bush. That linebacker is going to make a big difference. He's already being hailed in their camps. They've been telling me, calling me, telling me, you're going to love Devin Bush. He's going to be great. You're going to love Devin Bush.
A lot of excitement there. Agree, disagree?
I disagree. I think, again, you can't lose the best player at one position and then lose another player who's the best at his position, Le'Veon Bell and AB, and then expect to be a great team. In this league, it's all about talent. You need to have talent on a roster to win games. You're not going to win games with backups because, you know what, we were cohesive and we look good and we work well together. That's not how this game works. So for me, I think they'd be better in the, top 15-ish, maybe 14, 13.
You didn't see enough from Connor last year to believe that he's a legitimate starter in the league?
I don't know if he's going to be able to play the whole season. And that's another concern. When Le'Veon Bell was there, and I get it, when he was on the field, they won double-digit games. When he was on the field, they didn't.
What about
now
Juju?
You lose AB. Well, again, Juju's the number 2 guy. So it's like he was depth last year. He was having the number 2 receiver. Let's see how he is as the number 1 guy. You have to show me before I can just go out there. I'm not going to assume things. And I get it. Big Ben is a great quarterback.
There haven't been any games yet. We got to do a whole lot of assuming here.
I haven't even got to. They lost their O-line coach, who was arguably one of the best O-line coaches in the game. So there's a lot that's missing right now for this Pittsburgh Steelers team. And if Mike Tomlin's able to get them to win double-digit games, he should be coaching.
James Conner is not Le'Veon Bell, but we've already seen it. There's no speculation needed that he is a guy that can get the job done at that position. Juju Smith-Schuster, you act like he's a number 2. That guy's a superstar. And I think they already have a ready-made superstar replacement for Antonio Brown. Ben Roethlisberger is Ben Roethlisberger. And then keep an eye on James Washington. If there's one thing we know with the Steelers is they know how to repopulate their depth chart, especially at wide receiver. Devin Bush is the guy replacement for Ryan Shazier they've been looking for years now. I love the Steelers, and I know this is a very competitive division, but I have them at 8. I would not be surprised if they're in the top 3 a month from now.
Just ahead on NFL Power Rankings presented by Energizer. Are we willing to knock on wood with John Gruden and his high expectations for his Raiders? Plus,
this is not an easy decision. Honestly, it's the hardest decision of my life.
Was there a precipitous plunge for Indy after Andrew Luck's retirement? Dan's Colts commentary is just ahead. But first,
Luck back to pass. Luck in trouble. Here comes Clowney, brings him down, and he does a snow angel.
Clowney was sent packing, but Tunsil and Stills are headed to Houston. Does that ultimately mean the Texans are better? We weigh in next. Back on Power Rankings presented by Energizer. Well, we get to teams 9 through 16 here. Dan has your rankings are posted at NFL.com. Packers at number 14. Is that right?
I don't know. It might be. I mean, yes, 14 is
right for you. You put it there.
What I mean is I don't really know where to put the Packers, and I don't think anybody should be overly confident in either direction with Matt LaFleur there and Aaron Rodgers. We don't know. We didn't see anything from the playbook. We didn't see Aaron Rodgers in the preseason, so we'll find out. But they have potential, obviously.
All right, well, number 9, number 13, those teams connected once again on a big trade at a premium position. So let's talk some Texans.
There was nothing they could do to keep Jadeveon Clowney off the quarterback.
Look is decked. Jadeveon Clowney getting there for Houston.
Right now, Foles has to be more concerned with holding on to the football. He lost it.
I think Clowney's got it.
He does.
Darnold with the pocket collapsing. Here's a sack, ripped down. Jadeveon Clowney gets home.
Look out, Prescott enveloped. That was Clowney.
He is just so athletic.
All right, get a look here. Additions and subtractions for the Texans this season. Out. Clowney, Lamar Miller, of course, with the injury in. The big names, Tunsil, Stills, running back Duke Johnson, Carlos Hyde to replace Lamar Miller, and the 2 linebackers they acquired from Seattle in that Clowney trade. So the details of the trades the Texans made have been discussed ad nauseum. So how about we do this power ranking style today? What do you say? Right now, today, are the Texans better, worse, or the same for 2019 after all that change, Dan?
I think they're mostly the same, with one caveat. If Laramie Tunsil really solidifies that left tackle spot and plays at his ability, that creates the possibility that Deshaun Watson takes the next step and goes full superstar mode. He got killed last year in that pocket. If they can get better protection, he could be even better.
I feel like Bill O'Brien really saw what happened to Andrew Luck, saw him get beat up, and was like, look, I can't let my number 12 get hit, or my quarterback get hit that way. So for me, I still think they're the same, though. Like, you have.
Do you think the defense loses that much?
I think the defense loses that much, and I really don't think the running back position was addressed or is as good as it was or better without Lamar Miller there. I mean, Duke Johnson's your third down back. You throw him the ball. Obviously, Carlos had to be your first and second down back, but.
Cynthia, was Lamar Miller that good? Like, I always felt like we wanted more out of Lamar Miller in Houston than what he was given.
I could say it like this. My model didn't love Lamar Miller, and they got better because they had the addition of both Carlos Hyde and Duke Johnson, so that helped out. And then Laramie Tunsil, that is a huge deal. If you look at how fast pressure got to Deshaun Watson last year, Every other team was at least a half a second slower coming off the left. That's a big deal. Like a whole half a second to work with.
You know, there's sometimes pass rushers come off the right side too.
No, I understand, but
I mean, it's just, right.
left is a big deal, right?
62
saying. Sacks last season. You got to make sure and figure out how to get Deshaun Watson in the opportunity to like really get it to nuke.
No, I mean, you said it. I think that's,
I drafted him in
why you give up 2 1s and a 2 to go get a 25-year-old, probably the most promising young left tackle in the game. The hopes that Deshaun Watson will take that next step. We didn't talk about the defense, though, and what the loss of Clowney. You sort of addressed it a little bit, and whether or not the loss of Clowney is that big of an impact for this team.
Is J.J. Watt still there?
He is.
Oh, okay.
He is.
Whitney Merciless?
Still there.
Okay. I
will say this
we're gonna be
about
okay, fam.
Clowney, a very good player, but has he ever been a great player? And I think Bill O'Brien, if you read between the lines, the comments he's made after this trade, he's been big on that. He was a good player for us. He had good Sundays. I don't think O'Brien thought he was great, and he hasn't quite ever lived up to that draft type, as we know. I think they could survive it on defense.
The NFL's 100th season is upon us, and we are rolling out a ton of great content in the coming days and months, including the 100 greatest plays of all time. Now, that show will premiere Friday, September 13th. Here's a look at one play that will definitely be on the list.
Beast mode, definitely one of the greatest runs of all time. He was just making a bunch of men look like boys.
And the Lynch left side. Finds a little bit of a hole. Keeps his legs moving. Pushes the man 35. Look at him go. Touchdown, Seahawks.
As an announcer, I couldn't even hear myself. I'm screaming, get off me.
Get off me. Are you kidding me?
It was the darndest thing I ever saw.
Time now for Power Moves presented by Energizer. Still going. So let's get into off-season moves. Something off the field for a team, acquisition, trade away, draft pick, whatever it may be, something that caught your attention as the power move of the offseason, Cynthia.
Well, look, I do all of these models, and of course at the last minute, teams always come in and make me do a lot of extra homework, and so I'm gonna have to like turn it around and make it a positive thing. So for me, Jadeveon Clowney going to the Seahawks was a big power move. They did a big power move on me, but you know what? I still managed to get my models done. So, joke's on them. Joke's on them.
See what you did there. And by the way, no Frank Clark. Clowney now comes in.
That was the biggest question that they had, and it actually really drove a big increase for the win totals for the entire season for the Seahawks. But again, it's all about creating the whole, defensive front and back together. And Pete Carroll and the way he can architect that is something we always see a big improvement as the season continues going on. So it's just a nice piece for him to fit into his puzzle.
They also have Ziggy Ansah too, so you got 2 guys coming off the edge. For
Biggest
your boy,
power move off season.
You already know who it is.
What?
Touchdown Nick. That's right, the Jacksonville Jaguars. Well, for right now, Super Bowl champion Nick Foles. How about that?
There we go.
Super Bowl champ Nick. But again, look at this. The Jags have been, Blake Bortles was there, little limited in some situations, but Nick Foles comes in, more confidence. He's throwing the ball. He has a rapport with these receivers. Leonard Fournette goes out this offseason, loses weight. He goes, you know what? I have to get right because we have Nick Foles. Now all of a sudden the offense can match the defense. Super Bowl, I say.
Super Bowl, says you. All right. Well, that's a heck of a power move. Jags to the Super Bowl after a single. Anyway.
What happened 2 years ago, though?
Yeah, hey, it happens, right? Worst the first can happen. How about it, Hanzus? Biggest move of the offseason.
Well, if MJD's going to be a homer, I'm going to be a homer. And as a Jets fan, I love Le'Veon Bell, who adds something they've been missing for years there, a really explosive presence behind the quarterback. And Sam Darnold said it this week. He thinks this Jets offense with Adam Gase is going to be electric. And I'm bullish. And I think that Bell, who might take a few weeks to get up to grade because he's been out of football for 20 months, but once he gets going, I think he's going to be valuable as a rusher, as a receiver. And if that offensive line can gel, I think he could put up a Steelers-type season with the Jets. Look out, money.
It is too good. A Jets fan, former Jag, you're talking yourself into it, man.
I'm all the way in.
Springs eternal with power moves from the offseason. Next on NFL Power Rankings, presented by Energizer. Halfway through the rankings and still no sign of the Colts. Indy was top 5 before Andrew Luck's retirement, so where are they now? Also ahead.
Looking close, middle, got us there. He may go all the way. It is Randall Cobb to the back, to the end zone, to the touchdown. Oh my goodness!
Unbelievable.
The oldest rivalry in the NFL kicks off season number 100, but will it be the best game of week 1? Our game ranker is after the break.
Hey, it's okay to have a little attitude now. Let's go. Okay to have a little fire and a little attitude. Good job, big boy. A little help. Ah, big strong man, nice. Nice hit, big man. Oh, hey, nice hit, buddy. Ooh, nice hit, man. Yeah, buddy, good hit. Thanks, man. Hey, you're a menace out there, boy. Good job, boy. Nah, you're fine, man. It's football, you know what I mean? It was a great hit he had on me, and I was just trying to get a call out of you. All right, thanks. Stay healthy. It's fun watching you play, man. You know? All right, take care. See you now. Good luck. Maybe one day we'll cross paths somewhere, sometime. All right, take care, sir. Take care, man. So much respect for you, buddy. You came here, bro. You came back strong as hell, but that's yet to come, man. I know you're going to work, man. I appreciate it.
We have a guy that could just lead us to the promised land.
Al certainly will be missed. And as we get a look here at Dan Hanzus' power ranking 17 through 24. You see him right there, number 19. Prior to the surprise retirement, Dan, you originally had put the Colts with Andrew Luck as their starting quarterback at number 5 in your preseason rankings. They fell 14 spots after he called it a career. Now in the bottom half of the league. He is certainly a great quarterback, no question, but you really think it's a 15 or 14 spot drop with no Andrew Luck?
First of all, I'm even more sad after watching that video clip. He's such a nice guy, Andrew Luck. And I just think with the Colts, and people are in their feelings, I feel like, with the Colts right now. They want them to rally around Jacoby Brissett and make a playoff run without Luck, and that's certainly possible. Almost any team can make a run to 10 wins. But I just think that it's such a hit to their talent, and I don't think Brissett is the guy. Brian Hoyer, I don't think he's the guy either. I just think this team is destined for 8-8, and that's why they're in the middle of the power rankings.
Yeah, for me, Andrew Luck was the clear-cut number 1 player in his draft. Jacoby Brissett gets drafted in the 3rd round. There's a talent issue in that situation. You can't think that if you're going to lose your all-star quarterback who took you to the playoffs his first 3 years, each year getting better, and then expect him not to be there and the team to be better. Like, again, this whole adding by subtracting thing doesn't work for me. And so...
Certainly not in this case.
Well, that means other players are going to have to step up. So are your young draft picks going to have to make plays? Your defense is going to have to play much better than they played last year. There's going to be a lot of things that have to go. You're going to have to get turnovers. There's a lot of things. And Jacoby Brissett, yes, he's a capable quarterback, but has he played a full season yet where people get to scout him and understand his tendencies? I don't know. I mean, you're cool. I'll give you 19's okay with me.
That's fine? Okay, cool.
You're cool. 19's okay with me. I have 22, so it's not that different. Okay. With Andrew Luck, it was significantly different. But the drop-off for me comes because now they have a lot of uncertainty on their defense. I'm like a defense hater, apparently, so far in the show. But ultimately, Andrew Luck erases a lot of those defensive issues that they have. And now Jacoby Brissett, it's kind of boom or bust for them, right? Like, he could be very good. And they've certainly got the O-line to suggest that he has some time to learn the defenses that he's going to see, read them, make the throws that he needs to make. But let's be honest, like, it's boom or bust. It's not going to be a slow, steady grind.
We call him Jake Brisket on the Around the NFL podcast. They rip up his contract and pay him pretty good starter money.
You have to.
You have to.
All right, I don't know what he's proven to get any deal.
He's proven that he's there. He's there.
Okay, Brian Hoyer gets really good backup money. It's like they're trying to pay their way back to QB tranquility. And I feel bad. Well, I don't feel too bad for Colts fans. They went 98 to 2018, Peyton Manning to Andrew Luck. But this is a tough situation. I don't want them to be bad this year, but I just don't see them being very good.
The idea that you're not going to have any drop-off going from Luck to Brissett is crazy. I mean, he was someone who individually carried that team into playoffs, Andrew Luck. But at the same time,
they started winning no games
it is
last season,
it's a much better roster around Jacoby Brissett than it was when Andrew Luck was carrying this roster into the postseason, which is what makes it an interesting topic.
Touchdown Giants! 68 yards for Saquon Barkley. Time deep. Touchdown Cowboys.
He's going to throw one intended for T.Y. Hilton. Touchdown T.Y.
Popped up in the air and caught. What a play. End zone caught. Touchdown Detroit Lions.
Quarterback Kyler Murray has the weight of an entire franchise resting on his shoulders.
Touchdown Juju Smith-Schuster.
Brewster.
He lobs a throw for Edelman, who's open and pedals for a Patriots touchdown.
All right, our random ranker this week are my top 5 games of week 1. I start with Chiefs at Jaguars. Why? Well, let's see if that Chiefs offense is going to be as explosive in 2019 as it was last season against one of the best defensive fronts in all of football, especially with the addition of Josh Allen and what we've heard about him in camp and through the preseason.
Yeah, you know what? The Jags, they have a guy by the name of Nick Foles. It's going to be a different year.
Let's see what
we call
Foles
him
can do as
Touchdown
well.
Nick.
Number 4. Colts at Chargers. We were just discussing this. Let's see what Jacoby Brissett can do against that fierce pass rush of Joey Bosa, Melvin Ingram. Plus, now with the addition of Jerry Tillery, Isaac Rochelle's kind of emergence as well, they're going to be running at him in waves. And we're going to know real quick whether or not Brissett is going to be able to aptly fill in or at least try to fill the void that was left by Andrew Luck.
I already missed Derwin James.
Yes, no Derwin James as well.
Who's going to cover Ebron?
See who's going to cover Ebron. I mean, you'll see Adrian Phillips. I mean, he's that hybrid linebacker safety. He is certainly no Derwin. Number 3, Texans at Saints. All right, you made all your moves. Let's see if that left tackle, and again, this is another great defensive line, right? And Davenport and Jordan. Let's see if Laramie Tunsil is worth those 2 1s and a 2. A lot of people seem to think so. Others think they gave up too much. If Deshaun Watson stays clean and he tears up one of the best teams in the NFC, we're going to be feeling a heck of a lot better about those moves in this Texans team moving forward.
Bill O'Brien is under so much pressure. He did it to himself, but I guess that's what he wanted. I don't know if they actually got better in 2019 after all this. I feel like they're kind of the same place in the NFL landscape.
Number 2, the oldest rivalry in the NFL, the Acme Packers versus the Decatur Staleys, and that man right there, number 12, loves to cut the heart out of Bear fans. And it's great. It's what you should do with rivalry games, and it's why this is a special game every single season when these two teams get together.
How is this not your number 1? This is my number 1, by far.
You know it's going to come down to Eddie Pinheiro by now. The
Exactly.
kicker, line
and what's going to happen?
For a 43-yard field goal.
He's going to do a triple doink.
He's going to make it.
Triple doink.
He's going to make it.
How is this not my number 1?
Let's say 5.
Oh, I don't know, because you got the Steelers and the Patriots going at it in week number 1. All right, no AP now after no Le'Veon Bell the season before, plus Tom Brady and the defending champions. What a great way to start the season. The defending champs going up against the Steelers team that says they are better with addition by subtraction.
Nailed it, honey.
You're totally missing the Vikings and the Falcons. That's the one I'm looking forward to there.
Lions, Cardinals, how about that?
Anybody else want to be sarcastic? Drop an ironic comment
I actually think the Falcons are going to upset the Vikings.
Rams always a good one, too.
Rams, Panthers.
I actually think the Vikings are going to get upset by the Falcons.
Pats and Steelers, though,
I just
number
don't know
1.
if it's top 5.
It's top 5.
Right.
Pats and Steelers locked and loaded is going to be a great game. 34-31. Al Krish, Michelle Tafoya, everybody's flying.
Yeah, I guess the one problem is what Tom Brady regularly does to the Steelers, especially at Foxborough, is what might prevent that. Still to come on NFL Power Rankings presented by Energizer. We'll see Kyler in week 1, and many think Daniel Jones won't be far behind. There is a reason why both have new signal callers and hope for the future, but what about the present? Plus,
Russell with the snap, takes it, looks to the end zone, touchdown! Seahawks!
Seahawks went from bottom 8 to top 10 in last year's rankings. Which team will we forecast has the same fate in 2019? Find out after this. NFL Network is giving it the old college try this season as we are your home for Conference USA football. This Saturday, September 7th, watch Grambling take on Louisiana Tech at 3:30 p.m. Eastern, live on NFL Network, presented by the Home Depot. Dan Hanzus, Power Rankings available at NFL.com. Teams 25 through 32. Giants at number 27, Dan.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why anybody would be bullish on the Giants at this point, and I just think what we need to see now is the transition. How long before Daniel Jones starts? After a great preseason, he looked tremendous. Eli Manning, I'm pegging it around week 7 or so, and that's when you really can judge where this team progresses, but in terms of a 2019 entity, I don't know.
Yeah, I wouldn't play Daniel Jones his whole season. I'd let him sit and learn, give him the old Aaron Rodgers treatment there because, again, you don't have enough weapons around him to protect him. So I want to make sure if I play my young quarterback, I can protect him.
All right, how about 31, the Cardinals? A lot of people excited to watch the Cardinals this season thanks to the number 1 pick, Kyler Murray.
Yeah, they can definitely be a team that makes a big jump in a month or so if this offense really is what people think with Kyler Murray and Cliff Kingsbury. I guess I just got to see it, and I just think they're talent poor on both sides of the ball, so it could be a bumpy transition in Arizona.
The one thing for me is this isn't the Big 12. People play defense in the NFL, so all this air raid, throw the ball around the yard, you're going to have to find a way to turn around and slow games down and try to find to win games because if you're just throwing the ball, it's going to be pick city. That's what we do in the NFL.
I think most teams have an O-line. The Cardinals have an oh-no line.
It's problematic.
For another round of too high, too low. All right, MJD, guess where we're starting this section?
Yes.
The Jaguars. Duval County. Jacksonville.
Sorry,
number
man.
17.
That's way
17
way
outside
too
the
low.
postseason picture,
We had a
says Dan
down
Hanzus.
year last year. We're way too low. We should be up there at least in the top 13. I feel like the Jags defense there. I know we don't have Telvin Smith, but you have Jalen Ramsey. You just paid Miles Jack. You have Yannick Ngakoue. You get Josh Allen. You have Calais Campbell. No one has
Marcel
that.
Darius in the middle of that line.
No one has that. On top of now we have a quarterback. So all we need you to do is not turn the ball over.
How many games are you going to play?
Nick Foles going to play all the games.
The problem here, though,
when's the last time that happened?
He's going to play all the games.
Never.
But he just led the Eagles to their championship.
Is you can't just Nick Foles, and we all love Nick Foles. We saw what he did in the Super Bowl. But it's like the Jaguars said, get Nick Foles, plug him in there, and all our problems are going to be solved on offense. I don't think they're going to protect him. I don't think they have the running game, and I don't think they have the skill positions.
They don't have the running game. We have Leonard Fournette.
Yeah, well, what does that mean?
Okay. All right,
I like the defense. Yeah. That's why they're 17. You got me in the Vikings, not on the Jags.
Let's stay in the South. Let's stay in the South. Hey, I'll move.
Okay.
All right, I move things. Let's stay. That's all I get to do here.
I'm out of bounds.
Let's stay in the South, but go to the NFC. Panthers, too high, too low at 18.
Not too low. The Panthers should be up there a little bit higher as well. I get it. Everyone's concerned about Cam Newton's shoulder, those type of things. Let's remember, when Cam Newton played and they were playing at a high level, they were rolling. Christian McCaffrey you have there. Everyone's high on DJ Moore, even though I want to wait to see a little bit more. But let me talk about this defense a little bit. And that's why I think where they're going to make hay. If they have 8 first-rounders on that defense, they're running a 5-2 now where they'll be rushing guys up the field. Kuechly will be at the middle linebacker spot. Now, they have some secondary issues, but if they can get pressure with those front 5, oh, my goodness. This is going to be something completely different.
I agree with the defense. I think it will be better. They'll be healthier. Cam Newton, I'm a little scared right now where he's at after a second shoulder surgery. You know they're going to have him run less. His accuracy was better last year under North Turner, but is he going to be able to light it up the way he used to? I guess I'm in a little bit of a wait-and-see mode on the quarterback, and he's the key to everything there.
Yeah, and by the way,
but
on
Nick
an ankle,
Foles had the key to everything for the Jags.
Cam Newton on an ankle, the week he's got to deal with Aaron Donald and the Rams front. So,
so 1 week.
Rough start. All right, what do you say we go on a power trip? So here is a look at the journey of the 2018 Seattle Seahawks through our power rankings. Started at 27. They stumble out the gate to 0-2. Week 3, they're at 29 before reeling off 10 wins in their final 14 games, leading them to the number 9 ranking in Week 17. So, Cynthia, get us started. Which bottom 8 team that we just saw in Dan Hanzus' rankings do you believe could be the surprise of 2019?
I don't know if I'm going top 10 surprise, but I'm thinking more middle of the pack with the New York Giants. I think their O-line and adding Kevin Zeitler is a huge deal, not just for whoever's at quarterback, but also remember that guy Saquon Barkley, who's a really big deal to their offense. That's going to really help him out as well. And then once they get Golden Tate back after the suspension, they will be able to create more offense that we're going to initially see. I also think they improved on defense with who they drafted. I really like DeAndre Baker in that corner spot. So for me, this could be a surprising, not top 10, but middle of the pack finish.
Hanzus, who do you got?
Let's go with the Tampa Bay Bucks, who, yes, you could see them languishing at the bottom of this division. But also, if you look at Bruce Arians and Jameis Winston playing for everything, Chris Godwin and Mike Evans, there is a way to see this team as a team that's contending in December. And watch out for Todd Bowles, by the way. This defense will be better with Bowles at his natural position as defensive coordinator.
All right.
Matthew, you see who's running right there. Those feet are good to go. And the Oakland Raiders will jump up into the top 10 because of
Top
AB,
10?
Derek Carr, Josh Jacobs, the rookie class that they draft.
Let's clip this off.
Cleveland Farrell, they got everything.
Who's playing in the
That's
secondary?
my guy, Greg Olsen over there. Look at the OC in there getting after it too, helping out those receivers.
They're going to need it.
AB is all you need. You have Tyrell Williams as well. They'll be fine.
I think they're chipping on that line.
Got an
They
you
get
got a
2
helmet.
tight ends,
That's
extra
a start.
offensive linemen. Next on NFL Power Rankings, presented by Energizer, we get you the goods on your Grudens. They're no longer the Raiders if you're watching Hard Knocks. Same situation surrounding the Steelers and Saints. Cynthia Frelund's formulas are just ahead. Back on Power Rankings, presented by Energizer. It is the Dan Hanzus play in 4 acts. Teams 1 through 8. You see the Patriots defending champs clock in at number 1. Eagles, the number 1 team in the NFC East. As we go to 9 through 16, you see a lot of playoff squads in there from last season. The Texans, the Ravens, the Chargers, the Seahawks. There's your Browns with all their buzz at number 15. Moving on, Maurice Jones-Drew does not like the Jaguars at number 17. And I guess this isn't the season of the 49er resurgence, as they're all the way down at number 24. And your bottom 8 include the Giants, Cardinals, and the Dolphins. So, what do you say we dip into dividends? Elaborate with exponents, as our data demigod Cynthia Frelund focuses first on how many wins the Steelers will have in 2019.
Well, I think they have 10 wins, win the division.
We can work with that.
Yeah, you like that? Okay, that's one more
Golf
win than
clap.
last season. Yeah, okay, so the golf clap. 2 things that really were interesting here. With Andrew Luck's retirement, that actually pushed the Steelers to win the division in my model. It was the Browns, but the Browns they don't get to play the Colts, and now the Steelers do. It jumped the Steelers' ability to beat the Colts up, which propelled them into that 10 wins. It's a big deal.
It's a big deal. I find your data to be only faulty. It's only minorly faulty. This is an 11-win team. So close.
You had 1.
But not all the way there.
You did have them at number 8, so I guess that would suggest maybe right in that area. All right, how about the Eagles at number 5? What is the win total there?
Ooh, well, you said 11 for the Steelers. I have 11 actually for the Eagles. Their schedule is really favorable in my model. Their defensive front, along with their O-line. You know I love those O-line rankings.
You do.
And they rank number 1 in my model, projected for the number 1 seed in the NFC going into the playoffs for me. This one is a really strong confidence. Like, my model really likes the Eagles this season.
Yeah, your robot's on fire there. I got 11 and 5 also, right on the nose.
Okay.
Now we're flying.
Well, very little for me to add since you both agree at 11. How about the Raiders?
Well, you had them, where did you have the ranks? The bottom, whatever?
Bottom 8.
They're in the bottom 8.
Okay, so I have 7 wins, which that would
Seems
suggest
high.
more than bottom 8.
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay,
I would put them at 5 or 6. Personally.
5 or 6 wins? Okay, so I'm going 7 wins. I think they have some boomer bust potential. My biggest problem for the Raiders, the biggest problem they're facing, 32,023 miles. They're traveling further than the Jets, the Redskins, and the Giants combined this season. That is a lot of travel.
Right.
A lot of miles traveled.
It's always West Coast teams that get dinged with the travel, but then you add London on top of that. You're a little concerned about
quality
that
of living though on the West Coast.
I'm very concerned about their O-line, but I had another point that wasn't O-line, so I was going to take the opportunity.
Exactly. I know. I just figured I'd work it in there. Finally, the Saints. What do you got, Cynthia?
10 games? 10?
That's it?
10?
10 wins?
Listen, the model in the beginning is closer to 8. 10 means that they win the division. I think the Saints fans are going to like me again this season. It's a tease for later. But the Saints, for me, have a very strong balance on both offense and defense. I'm going to talk about someone that doesn't get a lot of shine. You ready?
Yeah.
You know who stops the run? Demario Davis on their defense. You guys want to talk about the edges? I'll talk about the guy in the middle.
Okay. 10 sound good to you or way too low, Dan?
The machine is off there.
Yeah.
It's got to be recalibrated.
I mean,
that's right. Ghost in the machine. That's what's right there.
Exactly. This is a 12, maybe 13 win outfit. And then Drew Brees is going to carve up everybody, and the defense is very good. And I do like Demario Davis. I wish the Jets didn't get rid of him.
Okay. That preview is just a peck of Cynthia's plays, and you'll get a mountain more of her win totals, including the Pats and Cowboys, on the Game Day Morning Season preview show immediately following NFL Power Rankings. Next on NFL Power Rankings, presented by Energizer, putting a number next to a name is one thing, but which squad are we sending to South Beach, or at least close to South Beach, for Super Bowl 54? Our picks of the pair to play in February will finish us up next.
Edelman is killing whoever's on him. It's almost laughable to think that you're going to cover him one-on-one.
Brady dropping back, lobs the throw for Gronkowski, left side, makes the catch over 2 defenders, tumbling to the 2. Brady under center, gives to Michelle, runs it left, a dive to the end zone, touchdown Patriots. Goff throws it to the right, Gilmore's there, intercepted at the 4.
You knew the kid was going to crack, and he did there. And what a play by Gilmore.
And the Patriots have won their 6th Super Bowl title.
Back here on Power Rankings presented by Energizer. Well, we have our 1 through 32, and it's nice to have a team name next to a number, but how about which team is going to be playing for the Lombardi out there in South Beach come February? Dan, get us started. Your Super Bowl prediction.
I'll go with essentially my 4 and 5 in the Power Rankings. Chiefs, Eagles. I like the Chiefs getting over the hump this year, and the Eagles have everything in position to get back to the Super Bowl. I just like the matchup, and I think it happens.
I just love that the author of the Power Ranking says, I'm going with my 4 and my 5 team.
I was about to say that.
Nothing's changed since you wrote your Power Ranking, and they're not your 1 and your 2. They're your 4
No,
and your
I'm
5.
projecting now.
Yes.
The
all right.
Power Rankings is the
They're
here
gonna
and now.
change. It's fluid.
Yeah.
Look, what fun would it be if it stayed the same the whole
Exactly.
season? We got to have some change. All right, Cynthia, what do you have?
Okay, so I use an entire model that uses 10 seasons, 15 seasons of past data to look for doppelgangers. I was hoping. Yeah, look, I can have brag.
Yeah,
These
exactly.
people all have their
Humble
homework. Like, I'm going to talk about
I'm
it.
a math person.
No, you're
I know.
not.
I know you are. So here's the thing. I wanted it to be actually Chiefs and Packers, which are my number 2s, and then the Eagles are the third one after that. But it netted out Patriots, Saints.
Okay. So I guess it's Cynthia who is representing the opinion of the model as opposed to
I have to do it unbiased.
Cynthia.
The whole point
That's
is
what
to
you
make
do.
it unbiased. The whole point is to create an entire paradigm where it is just unbiased. It is all about contextual
What's the Patriots
football.
mantra? Do your job.
You're
doing your job. That's what the model
did.
does. Your job is to share what the model spit out. Pat Saints. How about it,
Yeah,
Maurice?
my job is to be biased. And since Miami is my favorite city in the world, why wouldn't I want to have my 2 favorite teams playing there? The Jags and the Rams. It only makes sense, right?
No, it absolutely doesn't make sense.
That's how it's supposed to be. It should have been like that last year. The Rams made
one
it.
individual's happy? That's how it's supposed to end?
Well, no, both are happy actually because either way I get a ring. That's all that matters. Aaron Donald's in phenomenal shape. The Jags defense is getting there. Both teams have an offense that can score points. I'm excited to see what they both can do. If they both make it in Miami, I will not work that whole week. I promise you. Right now.
I mean, is that right?
I won't work. I will just hang out and enjoy it.
I believe the higher-ups will have some issues with
That's
that.
fine. I'm just putting it on tape now.
I'm not working. I will take a page from your book, Maurice, and take the Chargers to make their way to Miami. But I can sell it. Joey Bosa's healthy. Melvin Ingram on the other side. Jerry Tillery, Rochelle on the inside. They got that deep front line that is going to make life miserable for opposing offenses. On top of all that, mark it down. Mike Williams, breakout season. I'm talking north of 12 touchdowns. Mike Williams opposite Keenan Allen.
Well, wait,
North of 12 touchdowns. Mike Williams.
I'll mark it down. Professional conflict.
That's right.
Money Smith.
And they'll be playing
MJD.
the Eagles. And they will be playing
no professional
the
conflict.
Eagles. Hey, we recognize
My 2 favorite
relationships have to be massaged in this
Well, I get
business.
it.
So there we go.
Those are my 2 favorite teams.
A
right
big
now.
thank you again to our friends at Energizer for sponsoring Power Rankings this year. We could not be more excited, and these, by the way, are going to be going home with me
stealing
tonight.
them.
It's a
We're
rare
stealing
batteries.
them.
There we go.
Double A,
Those
top of
double A's.
Power
NFL
Rankings.
Power Rankings presented by Energizer. And by the way, knock on wood, just for John Gruden, huh? How about that? We're going to see you every single Wednesday, noon Eastern on NFL.com.
Can't take them.
Yeah,
What?
we can.
What are you talking about?
He's going to use them in Miami. I know they're stuck. I picked up too.